Hi, my name's Micah. I can't believe this is the first video I'm filming. I've never done this in English. This is the first video I'm filming for this channel that is not just to link to my German discussion board. And it feels kind of weird to be talking to a camera in English. I'm not gonna lie. On to the good stuff. Oh, wait, actually, before I do that, I do have a pile of laundry behind me. Our washer broke and we've been having trouble with that. That was just recently cleaned. That's irrelevant. Anyway, I left the Catholic Church. I do believe that is the first time I've said that out loud, but I've talked to a lot of people about it. The general consensus is support. That being said, I told maybe 5 people. Let's see, I have notes for this video. Oh, before I get into why I left the church, I do not have anything against people who practice. I do not have anything specifically against the church. There are a lot of people I know who are using their religion to spread love and kindness, and I admire them so much. Hello, Belle. And they're honestly some of the best people out there. Let's see, this is not a spur of the moment decision. This is something I've been contemplating for months now, and I've been drifting for a while, so please do not think that I am like having a mental breakdown or like having such a bad crisis that I just suddenly left the church. It's been a decision that's been on my mind for several months. I've compiled some stories and some reasons as to why I don't feel like my values and my personal belief system aligns with the church anymore. I'm in high school. Let's start with that one. The teachers would tell us all the time. Oh, I went to a Catholic high school, by the way. I feel like I forgot to say that. Anyway, the teachers would constantly tell us that be careful what you say. The walls are thinner than you think. You guys should really not gossip where we can hear you. Which, that's fine. That's standard. I guess that's standard teacher advice. But kids were making suicide pacts while the teachers were telling us, stop being so loud. We can hear a lot more than you think we can. I'm not saying that they heard us, but I'm saying that it is very unlikely that they didn't. Because it was both in the halls, in passing, in the classrooms, after school, during class, in between classes, and no one really addressed it or said anything. So for the most part, while I was there, I generally didn't think that the teachers really heard us, or if they did, they thought we were kidding. But I don't know, maybe 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds making suicide pacts should have, even as a joke, maybe shouldn't have been ignored. I also heard a lot of kids express that, hold on, my roommate's cat is in there. I also heard a lot of kids express that they were at the verge of going through with killing themselves, and the only thing stopping them was that they didn't know. They didn't know if the people they had made suicide pacts with would genuinely follow through or not. Like, if the teachers were confused about whether it was a joke, or we were too. We didn't know. They should have provided more resources, like, for kids going through stuff. Hey, I was editing the video and I realized I forgot to add that I forgot to mention that because it was a Catholic school, they brought someone in every, I think, 2 to 3 years to give all the students a chastity talk. And regardless of your opinions on chastity and abstinence, I don't think it should ever be more important than providing resources for children who are suicidally depressed. So especially while making us take classes on why we should love our neighbors, why, we had, junior year, we had a class that was specifically moral theology, yet somehow, children making suicide pacts was never addressed in the time that I was at that high school. And yeah, just to, yeah, my problem was more with the fact that they were preaching Christian values while also ignoring students' needs. Yeah, cool. Okay. Another thing that's bothered me, especially in past months, over the past year, is that too many people are spreading misinformation and harmful ideas in the name of religion and in the name of Jesus. The Bible says that God loves unconditionally, sent Jesus here as an example, and, or well, the Bible doesn't specifically say, I sent Jesus here as an example, but you know what, we're taught that Jesus was an example, and we should, to the best of our abilities, love unconditionally. Gatekeeping human rights is not trying your best to love unconditionally. I don't know who needs to hear that, but apparently a lot of people do. Let's see. Once COVID hit and everything kind of started closing down, it gave me a lot more space and time to think about my own belief system and the structure of the church, and did I agree with it? And I found myself drifting a lot. It was giving me space and time to think, and I was finding that I really didn't agree with a lot of the structure of the Catholic Church anymore, which I know a lot of people who do, and a lot of people who practice the religion beautifully, and it just wasn't for me anymore. I got really into Catholicism and the church starting junior year of high school after I went to a retreat. And being very religious was a huge stepping stone for me to get to where I am now. It was by no means a bad part of my life. It was honestly, I had some of the best experiences of my life through the Catholic Church. And I definitely do not have any hate towards anyone who still practices and still loves it, because, like I said, it's a beautiful religion, and I still have so much, it still has a very special place in my heart. It just does not align with who I am and what I believe now. So, also after COVID hit, when things started reopening up in my state, I started volunteering at my local church to help people be as COVID safe as possible. While I was there, I was 18 when I started, and my birthday happened sometime while I was volunteering, so 18, 19. There was this man who was I would guess in his late 20s, who kept making kind of strange comments. I don't know, we would just kind of chat before Mass, because I don't know, what else do you do while waiting for people to show up and to guide them to where they're supposed to be? And he, at some point, brought up horror movies, what kind of movies do you watch? I don't know, that's a basic question. He brought up horror movies and asked if I liked any of those, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch a lot of movies, specifically horror movies, because I get scared too easily. And he recommended this one horror movie, despite me saying that, and I don't remember which one it was, but he walked up kind of close to me and goes, you didn't hear this from me, but you should definitely try it while stoned. Okay, if this was someone closer to my own age saying that, I wouldn't really have a problem with that, but I was and am still very much a teenager, and the fact that he was like maybe 10-ish years older than I am, recommending that I smoke weed while watching this movie didn't sit right with me. It just didn't. Also, weed just isn't legal in my state at all. I don't even know if it's legal for medical purposes, much less recreational. Definitely not recreational. That's not legal. And like, far be it for me to say that you should always follow the law in every single circumstance ever, but when this older man was recommending that I smoke weed while watching this horror movie while it was illegal, just did not sit right. It didn't feel right. At some point, one time when I came home from Mass, I realized he had requested to follow me on Instagram. Now, he only knew my first name. He just knew that my first name was Micah. I did not have a name tag. He did not know how that was spelled. My username at the time was like my first and middle name. He did not know my middle name or my last name, so he would have had to search me up and like look through profile pictures. We didn't have any mutual followers either. Like, we weren't, like, there was no way he would have found my account without searching my first name and like looking through profile pictures. And at some point he asked me for my Snapchat, and that kind of made me uncomfortable. I didn't have my phone on me, by the way, while he asked, thank God. So I was just like, oh yeah, maybe after Mass, and then I just left without talking to him. And then after that time, I found he had DM'd me on Instagram and asked for my Snapchat, and he was like, here's mine, you can add me back. And I just kind of went, sorry, my mom said no. And then I brought this up to the priest who was overseeing volunteering for COVID safety, and he pretty much brushed it off and said, oh, he's engaged. Maybe you think differently, but that didn't really seem relevant to me. He also said, oh, do you think he's trying to date you? And I was like, I don't know why that's where your mind went, considering I am about 10 years younger. And I was like, no, I'm just uncomfortable. I don't think that's the case at all. And I explained what was happening. I also showed him the Instagram posts from this man. I showed the priest the Instagram posts from this man's account. They were like memes about boobs, which, you know, if you enjoy that, that's fine. But when he requested to follow me, and that was the kind of content he was posting, after everything else, it didn't sit right with me. It made me very uncomfortable. I have removed and unfollowed him on Instagram. The priest pretty much said, oh, he's engaged, that's not a problem. Which I thought was irrelevant. He also said, he's in wrestling, so he wants to impress his wrestling buddies, and he thinks the best way to do that was with those memes. And I grew up in a mixed martial arts community because my dad was always involved in mixed martial arts. They have always been respectful towards women from my experiences. I never had an experience that made me uncomfortable while I was at other people's houses and like first to practice while my dad was over practicing martial arts or anything. I never felt unsafe, and hearing that was kinda, and also again, irrelevant. It shouldn't have mattered that he's trying to impress his wrestling buddies. There were still other points that made me uncomfortable. And then the third thing he said was that the priest said was that this man has cerebral palsy and is just trying to fit in. Oh, I think that was included in the second point. Never mind. Oh, no, I got it wrong. The first point that the priest brought up was that this man was not raised religious. I feel like there's a huge misconception that religion equals morals, and it just so clearly does not. Religion and morals are far from the same thing. Morals and religion can obviously intertwine. You don't need religion to have morals, and vice versa. So that really, again, an irrelevant point. And just everything the priest was saying was very invalidating and very, just did not sit right with me. He also ended this discussion with like, you can still volunteer if you want, and I said no for obvious reasons. In fall of 2020, I was still going to mass every single Sunday, and for the most part really enjoying it, but still kind of feeling disconnected. Like maybe this isn't where I'm meant to be. I attended these 2 specific masses that just didn't sit right with me. Content warning politics. Oops. Now, in case you don't know, the Catholic Church is supposed to remain generally apolitical. They're supposed to just kind of guide your morality. This one priest at this is an entirely different priest at an entirely different church. He gave this weird anti-socialist homily for All Saints Day. And I don't know if you, regardless of like your political beliefs or the economic structure that you like, it came off as him using the same fear-mongering tactics that people use in order to pull someone further right without any education, information, sources. And I think when it comes to religion and politics, you should just like lay out all the information and then just like let people decide what they like most, what most closely aligns with their morals, and not just like bring up buzzwords without the information with them. It kind of was strange because I had been told pretty much my entire life that the church was apolitical technically, but will just like give their opinions on certain topics to guide your political beliefs. Anyway, the other mass, again, this is fall of 2020. Did I say 2019 earlier? I think I did. I feel like I did. Anyway, okay, another mass, fall of 2020. This priest had us clap for cops during a mass because it was apparently the blue mass. I looked it up. This is a real thing apparently. I don't know. I don't remember whether it's America or worldwide, but you clap. But you like have this mass to respect police officers and like honor them or something. They brought up that the police had been getting a lot of bad press lately without discussing any sort of plan for like change behavior. And obviously they're not the church is not the police, but like it came across, the entire homily came across as very tone deaf because they were saying, oh, you have to listen to both sides of the story, but they themselves were clearly not listening to Black voices, or to insist that there's 2 sides to every story by silencing the other side. Again, does not sit right with me. I don't agree. Do with that what you want. What I'm going to talk about now is about COVID. I know everybody's tired of hearing about it, but maybe if people heard about it more, they wouldn't write guidelines and flaunt it. This last part is about COVID guidelines and a general lack of respect for them at events put on by groups within the Catholic Church. Yeah. Hi, okay, I'm back. I quit filming for a bit. My roommates came home and I was getting really distracted and my thoughts were kind of all over the place. Despite the fact that I literally made notes for this video, my brain was just so discombobulated. I had to take a few hours off of filming, and yeah, okay, that's irrelevant to the entire topic of this video. So, I was talking about COVID guidelines and an event that happened February of 2021 where a bunch of people stayed at this overnight thing. And okay, first of all, this is all public information. There were posts, there are Instagram posts posted to public accounts. It's not like I'm just exposing them. There's pictures online on public accounts. It's not like this is this big secret. It's not like there's a big secret or anything. This event was posted on social media, so it's yeah, okay, that took me, I don't know why I said that sentence like 3 different times to say the same thing, but anyway, in the pictures there were no masks, there was no social distancing, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that everybody got tested, because I hope they did. The problem with that event is that even if everybody did get tested before going, if they didn't follow proper quarantine procedures, the test results might not have been correct. And also, there were about 40 people there, so that would have been taking away medical resources from people who could have needed them to access health care, to get back to work, or just to figure out what's wrong with them. Those were tests that could have gone to other people. And my main issue with this was that in Catholic or any Christian setting I've been in, they tend to encourage us to be examples for other people and to lead by example. But clearly, breaking COVID guidelines is not an example that anyone should follow. And that was one of my main problems with it. And my state hasn't been great with COVID numbers. Around December, we were number 1 in the world. And I live in Tennessee. It's a pretty small state considering how high the numbers were, the fact that it was the epicenter, the worldwide epicenter, and that was just barely 2 months ago, and then people were at this gathering without any sort of mask or social distancing, and the fact that people planned and hosted this event, this again did not sit right with me. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry that I cannot be the supportive friend you want me to be if you went to this event and are watching this video. I just don't think that it was responsible or necessary to go to an event like that right now. And the majority of the people who were there were pro-life, yet they broke COVID guidelines for a weekend getaway. I'm sorry if you disagree, but I don't think that was an okay thing to do. Finally, a thought that has just been kind of floating around my mind is that religion is entirely made up. Religion is something people use to make themselves feel better, and there's nothing wrong with that. obviously I was very, very religious for a long time. I consider myself very spiritual. I still consider myself to believe in God and Jesus Christ. But we as humans don't actually know what's real or what happens after death. And that, of course, in a video about religion, this is an extremely controversial thing to say, but none of us know what's real. And I can't say that with absolute conviction that I know what happens, or if there is a higher power, or that the higher power, as in the Christian God that I believe exists, really does exist. I can't say that with absolute conviction. And I realized that's just not the Catholic teaching, and my idea of religion is not particularly in alignment with Catholic teachings. So I ultimately decided to stop practicing and stop considering myself Catholic, because Catholic teachings do not align with my personal beliefs, with my personal belief structure anymore. And that's okay. That's okay. I have to keep telling myself that. I still don't know how I'm going to actually tell people, because a lot of my friends I've met through the church and by going on retreats and going to events and going to youth group, and even I was in leadership. I was in leadership senior year of high school, which was fun, but I don't know how I'm going to explain this to people. Maybe I'll just send them this video. I know I would like to say I know that a lot of the specific stories do not represent all or even a majority of Catholics. They're just some experiences that made me uncomfortable with associating myself with the church. And I know a lot of people do not actually think that way. A lot of people, like I've said before, exemplify how beautiful of a religion it is and how much it can be used to spread love and kindness. It's just not the belief system that I subscribe to anymore. If you know me and are watching this video, which everyone watching this video probably will know me, because this is my first public video I'm uploading on this account. I have 0 subscribers or views across my channel. Well, I have a total of 4 views. Shout out to my German professor. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I get this up in time, and I hope you don't hate me. If you do, actually, if I got something wrong, or if I said something that you didn't like, go ahead and tell me. I'm sure, because obviously this is just my experience. I do not represent a majority. I do not represent everyone, obviously. I am just one person who feels the need to explain to people why I stopped practicing. I stopped calling myself Catholic. I have left the church and don't associate myself with it. Also, my thoughts are kind of all over the place. This is a decision I came to within the past week as of filming this, so I hope I haven't just straight up angered anyone. If I disappointed someone, I guess that's okay with me. This is, I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know why I feel the need to defend myself. I guess I'm still just kind of nervous about putting this up on the internet. But, you know, that's that, I guess. Comment, like, subscribe, because I have 0 subscribers at the moment, and I would really appreciate it if I had even 1. So bye. Some things that played into me really questioning the structure of the church was an episode from a podcast called Probably Oversharing. I think the person who does it is Sam Duval. I might be wrong. He did an episode with Danny Cayero. If you were on YouTube around like 2013 to 2015, you probably saw a Cimarelli video. She's from that band, and she also left the church, and it really got me thinking about why I subscribe to the belief system I do, and if I would continue. And I obviously came to the conclusion that it's not for me, and I left. That was not what convinced me to leave. That is just one thing that made me think. And I also had a conversation with a friend from high school whom I love dearly, and we've both been kind of teetering on the edge of what do we actually consider ourselves. After going to college and just experiencing religion out on our own, which I don't know, maybe I'll do a separate video on like my lifetime of practicing religion, not practicing religion, my whole journey with that. Because in high school, my parents weren't really pushing me to like get super into the church. This was entirely like self-motivated. This wasn't something that my parents forced me to do. In fact, my parents always encouraged me to learn about different religions, explore different options, because they never wanted me to be closed-minded about different people's belief systems. I know that's not the case for everyone, so that is generally that is generally something I've always done. I would like to put a disclaimer: no one blatantly suggested I leave, or like blatantly told me to leave. These decisions were entirely my own, and that's the tea. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have fun.